Hello, friends. Welcome to Take Two Tuesday. It is, what is the date? I'm losing track of time. It is Tuesday, November 5th. We are into November 5th. Oh, today is big election day, right? I hope that all of you have voted. We mailed in our ballots or dropped them off at the post office. We want to make sure they get there a couple weeks ago. So I hope everybody has voted. This is your big chance. It should be an exciting day. Just so you know, right at the beginning here, this video is pre-recorded. Stephanie and I are taking a little break this week, so I didn't want to leave my slot open like that without saying hi to everybody. So this is a pre-recorded video, but I'll try to chat with you, and then hopefully YouTube has a feature where you can set it as a premiere, and I'm going to try to do that. I don't know if I can do that on Facebook as well, but I'll check into it, and hopefully I'll be on the chat with you while the video is goes live, and then we can follow along. We'll have some questions, some fun chat, all that kind of cool stuff in this video. But just so you know, right at the beginning, I am not live. I am not actually here right now. I taped this about a week ahead of time, so if I get anything mixed up or anything, I apologize, but I thought it would still be fun for us. We have so many stamps and dies and so much from the past here at the Stamps of Life that I thought it would be a good chance to share it here on Take Two Tuesday. So if you are new to Take Two Tuesday, my name's Ken. I'm here at the Stamps of Life. We're in Southern California in the Orange County area, and every Tuesday we have a live video, usually a live video, where we present some items from the Stamps of Life from the past that many of you already have. And so this is a reminder for you that you can find them and put them to use again. Some of these items today, I don't think I have any seasonal items, but we have been doing a lot of Christmas and Halloween items the last few months. So if you go back into some of the past episodes, you'll find some Christmas, Halloween, fall, maybe some Thanksgiving items in there that will be interesting for you and kind of coordinate with the season that we're in. Today we have a stamp and die collection that goes back from April of 2021. And then we also are going to do a fold-it die set also from the same time period, April of 2021. So we have those things to look at. And then, so if you have them already, you want to get them out and use them, right? This is a refresher reminder for you. But if you are new to the Stamps of Life, maybe you just found out about us in the last few months or the last couple of years, these items are going to be new to you. So this is a kind of an introduction, and we can't keep up with everything on the website, but every once in a while you might see something that interests you, and these items are available on the Stamps of Life website. Trying to think what else. So they're on the website. They're available. There is one item. No, that was from last week. See, I'm starting to get the weeks crisscrossed. So one of the items I showed from last week are very low in stock, but I'm going to reorder and get more. But this week, these items are all good. Let me double check to make sure I'm in focus. I think I am. Boop, 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 boop. All right. Sound seems to be working. I'm recording this here, and if I have any goof ups, I might do a little bit of editing, but I hope not too much. What else? If you have not been on the website, you want to do that. Let's see. Okay, I also wanted to mention we'll do our good news segment here towards the end of our video. We're going to take a break from Matthew. We've been doing Matthew one chapter each week, but this week we'll take a break and we will be in Romans chapter 12 if you want to look ahead. And the verse we're looking at is actually Romans 12:12. So we'll do just a little devotional over that. That'll be the end of the video. I hope you'll stick around. We want to draw closer to God, and hearing his word helps us to do that. So we'll just spend a little bit of time reading our Bibles at the end in our good news segment. Now, if you haven't been with us the last few days, this is called Winter Birds stamps came out along with the dies, and these are now available on the website if you join the club, and you get a postcard too with that shipment. Okay. You get the Winter Bird stamps if you join the Die Hard Club, the dies that go with it, the postcard, all that fun stuff. You can join the Stamps of Life Die Hard Club, and I recommend you do that. This is a fun collection. You'll see the card samples that are on the website, which make it a lot of fun. You can only get the dies right now by joining the Die Hard Club. That's the only way. Right now, the stamps are on the website to anybody. But if you want to get the dies with the stamps right now, they are available by joining the Die Hard Club. If you just join the Stamp Club, you will get the Stamp Club, the stamp set with the postcard. That is available on the website. And once you join the club, you start saving on our website whenever you shop. You get little freebies. I know in December there's going to be a freebie for every club. So if you sign up in November, you're going to be qualified for that December freebie that you can only get by being a club member. So that's a little advantage. If you join now, it'll be all set for December, and that freebie will be coming your way. Any club you're in, you're going to get the freebie, okay? But Winter Birds, that's brand new on the website. There are add-ons for this. There's like a More Birds. There's a Sayings. Let me see what else is on the website. I'll show you a couple card samples too while I'm finding out what's new on the website. These items came out on the 1st of the month. So just back, what was it, last Friday? And on Friday, I did ship all the club shipment. It is on, that was Friday, November 1st. I sent it all out. Now today, or on the website, you'll find the More Winter Birds stamps and dies. It kind of coordinates with this collection. There's some sayings, Winter Bird sayings. There is a Winter Wreath Fold-it. That's a real nice fold-it die. That is not a club. If you're joining the, or if you're in the Fold-it Club, that is not the one that was mailed out for November. So this is different. And then we have a poinsettia flower die. So those are all available on our website. If you just go to our main page, you'll see them all. There'll be samples. Stephanie's video is there. You can get all the information. If you join the club, you'll start getting a discount. You'll see 15% off all of our regular prices. Once you're in the club, you get the club price. If you join the card kit and the Die Hard Club, you start saving 20% on our website. So there's a lot of advantages of being in the club. So I wanted to mention that. And then check out the website. Like I said, the new items are on there. Today is the 5th, so coming up on the 7th, there will be new items again. We'll have a new release coming up on Thursday. Or actually, that will be tomorrow night, Wednesday night. They'll actually be on the website. It'll come out on the 6th. The official release is on the 7th. So that is just a day and a half away or so. We'll have new items on the website. So definitely stop by. This week, there is no Crafting Corner since we are out of town. I know next week, the Crafting Corner lands on the 14th, which is also a release day. So I imagine Stephanie is going to have a brand new release with some flash sale items, and she'll probably demo some of those as well. So that should be a fun night. Save the date. That is Thursday, November 14th. If you're watching on Pacific Coast, we start at 5 p.m. And then on the East Coast, it starts at 8. So that will be next Thursday, November 14th release. And then actually on the 15th, which is a Friday, the card kit comes out. So the big week coming up next week. Let's get started here. Our first collection today, again, I had mentioned earlier, is from April of 2021. And it is called Bird Bath to Stamp. So this was the club collection. If you were in our club, you got the stamps and dies. And then we had some add-ons. These are called More Bird Bath and More Bird Bath to Stamp. So these were both also on the website. These were the add-ons. These were the club. Now, if you were a club member, these were shipped out to you. You should have them. And this collection can be used anytime throughout the year. It's just kind of a fun one. Let's go over to our website and see what we have there. All right, there is our bird bath, and I'll switch over so you can see what I can see here. And there's that. I think I can add myself up in the corner there. Great. So that is Bird Bath to Stamp. If you just type in, you see in there here in the little search box, I just typed in Bird Bath, and then it came up with all 4 of the items. If you want to see the main set, you would just click on that there. And you get 11 stamps in this collection. Some nice artwork and some sentiments are both included. And then remember, our stamps are made in the USA, so they're really nice, high quality. You're going to get great impressions out of these. When we go over to our little workstation, I'll stamp it and die cut it for you and show you how we can do that. Most of these dies in the, oh, actually in all of them, either set have the inside dies, so that's going to help you paper piece if you like to do that. So that's an option. Let's see the samples we have here. And we'll open that up a little bit. Great. And we can just scroll through these card samples. Nice work from our design team. So just on an A2 card front, there our designer, if you can see just faintly right there, there's some acetate maybe that was used to make the birds look like they're flying. That was a fun one. And there it is on a slim line. That would be our dotted slim line. Like I said, this is a fun set. I'm grateful for you. That can be used for so many times throughout the year. Add it to our tree Fold-it. I think that's a 5x7 tree Fold-it die set. And then there's a video. You won't watch that. And then back to the website. You can jump around. You can look at the other items. There's the dies. Probably the same samples, I would think. Yeah, they look like the same. Let's do one more. Here's the more bird bath. There probably are some different ideas here. Yeah, I see some different ones. Let's roll through those. Very nice, right? Lots of colors. Very bright and cheerful. Kind of looks springy, right? But I think you could still use it just about any time of the year, just to say hi or a thank you note, or I'm thinking of you, any of those kind of, maybe a get well card, even some happy birds on it might cheer somebody up. They have lots of different options on there. Let me see what I have here with me here in the studio. Switch back over. And I do have a handful of card samples from our design team. Some of these we may have seen already over there on our website. So let's take a look. And I'll show you what I have. And we do have some fun stuff to go along with this before we hit our, before we hit our workstation. We want camera 2. There we go. Okay, let's roll through these. Here it is again on an A2 card front. You could add whatever you like on the inside. Let's save the slim line since they're a little bit larger. There's that one we talked about that had the acetate, and the designer kind of made it like a Fold-it card. That was a great idea. Something different you can do with that. Back to this is with our A2, and I think it has the vine for the background. That comes with that A2 die set. So if you type in A2 card and you type in vine, I believe that will find you that one. Back when this was a club shipment, we had a postcard that you would have got and were received. And then we have a few more here. That's nice, adding a little extra bow and lots of, again, beautiful colors. We have 2 slim lines, so 3 slim lines. Let's move all those out of the way. That one there. Again, just some nice little greeting cards. I think you would really have fun with this collection. And this one looks like it is on a 5x7 card, so a little bit larger. And then let's look at our slim lines here. We'll move that out of the way so we have a little more space. And I think that will get in most of our slim lines. So that works really nice since it's kind of a tall, the image is kind of tall. It kind of fits on that card really nice. Down at the base of the card and here a little more towards the center. And then again back down at the bottom. Those last 2 were a dotted slim line that we have available on our website. Now before we go over to our little workstation here, I did have some interesting facts here. Let's see. We like to do these fun things, and I have a quiz too. This quiz, I was looking at the questions. We did one of these a couple weeks ago, and I think that one was a little bit easier. So be prepared. These questions might be kind of tricky, kind of hard. I don't know how many we'll get right, but we'll give it a try. We'll test our knowledge about birds. But here is, and I'm going to go ahead and move over here so you can see what I see and read some of the information. It says 8 things you should know before installing a bird bath. I've never had a bird bath at our house. Maybe have any of you guys had a bird bath around your house or your home or somewhere in your neighborhood or a park or anything like that? I think I just never have had one. I've seen them like at Home Depot and that kind of stuff, but I imagine it gets kind of messy, right, with lots of birds around there. But I think it would be fun to see birds come by there. And it says the right location really does matter. Birds like cover. It makes them feel protected and secure. So if you place your bird bath near shrubs, trees, or other cover, there's a greater chance they will use it. Now, I would have thought I would have just put it out there in my backyard and maybe in the middle and expected some birds. And then when they never showed up, I would have just gone, I guess they don't like me. But put it by some trees, some bushes. Let's see, when the water is cooler, it's better to have cooler water, it says, so you don't start getting algae and stuff in there, right? Don't be afraid to go big. You might come across a small bird bath that's very cute and decorative, but it sounds like larger baths are more exciting for the birds. Give your birds perching spots. So I think, do they mean like the edge? I guess. Keep your water fresh. That makes sense, right? That one's kind of, whoops. That one's kind of bubbling up there. That would be nice and fresh water if it's running all the time. Otherwise, maybe just dump it out every once in a while. Clean your bird bath regularly. See, that's what I was thinking. Birds can be kind of messy, right? So you're going to have to keep that clean a little bit. Maintain a usable temperature year round. In California, we wouldn't have that much of a problem. I guess the water could be a little bit cool, but if you live somewhere where it freezes or there's snow, your bird bath might get put away during the winter, or otherwise they're going to be skating around on ice. That's what I guess. And I don't imagine it can get too hot, but maybe the birds wouldn't like it if the water was super hot. I don't know. Some parts of the country, it does get super hot. We have some hot days out here, but not too many. Add movement to make your bird bath even more enticing. So is that where it says moving water? That might interest them, it sounds like. They have fountains with solar. And then try putting out bird baths during migration times for increased activity. Bird baths are good year-round, especially during migration season, which I guess that's when they're going from the spot that's getting cooler to a spot that's going to stay warmer. So maybe in winter time, the birds are migrating to go south to try to get a warmer spot. That's possible. It says you might even be able to lure birds like I don't know these birds, tanagers, warblers, and buntings to your yard. I don't know what any of these birds are. Maybe you guys know. Bird baths will absolutely increase the bird activity in your backyard. Maybe one of you want to test it out. I'm not ready to test it yet. If you want to test it out and you get a bunch of birds, make sure you take a picture and share it with us. That would be fun. If any of you have a bird bath and you got a lot of birds, send us a picture. You can do, info@thestampsoflife.com. If you go out and you get into bird baths and it's really working, let us know. So that is the bird bath info. And then let's see what else I did. Where's that quiz? We got that one. We did that one. No, we did that. We did that. Oh, this is fun. I'll show this video with you. It actually is a slow motion of a bird taking a bath. Let's watch this. It just takes I think I can speed it up. No, I don't want to speed it up because then you won't see. So there's really a lot of activity going on in this bird bath. Watch what this little guy does. I'll switch over there again. And I will make this a larger picture. And I think there's sound. Let's see what happens. So this is slow motion. And they were just wanting to see what really happens to these little guys when they're in there. So you can see a lot of activity. It's pretty amazing, huh? Flapping that water all around. I guess he's cleaning his wings. He wants to stay clean. Is that right? That would be my guess. But whatever he's doing, he's having a good old time. It looks like kids in a pool splashing water, right? But it is fun. It's so super slow-mo. You can never see this with your own eyes. A couple more seconds here. Some of those little water things floating around have that, they call that bokeh look. They're not quite in zoom and in focus. Kind of cool, falling down there. Almost look like snowflakes. So he's flapping away and he's having a good time. Let's see. I think that's about it. Yep, that's it. We're just about done there. There's the guys who were filming it. Great. So that was kind of fun. A little different look. Maybe you haven't seen a bird really doing a bird bath like that. I've seen them swim and jump around and they splash the water, but they really get into it there. Let's see, what else do I have on here? Okay, no, that's for our next item. Oh, okay, here we go. Trivia time. Now, there are 101 questions about birds. We're only going to do about 10 of them. So let's see how many we can get right. And I will move this back over to my, let me turn off the volume over there, make sure there's no sound coming through. We won't do that one. No. Let's see. Some of these questions were weird. Okay. Here we go. Now, a lot of these birds I haven't heard of, and maybe you have, or maybe you haven't, but don't feel bad if you haven't, but at least we can guess. So budgies, I've never heard of a budgie bird, of all sorts of colors have been developed by breeders, but what color are they in the wild? What do you guys guess? You pick the one you want, but I'm going to go with green. Correct. Wow. That was a good guess, right? Say good guess, Ken, because it was just a guess. Okay, we got that one. How about this one? What is a male goose called? A male goose. Does anybody know that one? Ostrich, gander, gosling, or cuckoo? I've heard of gander, so I'm going to guess gander. I don't know if it's right, but let's guess that. Oh, 2. We're on a roll now. I'm just going to guess on these other ones because I don't know. And it's making us go back to, we'll go back to. So there we got that one right. What color is a purple finch? Is this a trick question, do you think? Maybe a trick question? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to guess purple. See, wrong. This is going to make us keep switching back to these. So let me finish these out real quick because I don't know what these other ones are. It makes us keep scrolling back to ones we aren't doing. Okay, we started there, right? Okay, so we got one wrong, 2 right and 1 wrong. Let's do like another 2 or 3. Which of these birds' beaks have a pouch adapted to catch fish? A heron, a duck, a pelican, or kingfisher? Which one of these birds' beaks has a pouch adapted to catch fish? I'm going to guess kingfisher just because he sounds like that's what he's supposed to do. Let's try that one. No, pelican. In which part of the UK can you see golden eagles? And I'm just going to pretend that P is silent. Ptarmigan in the wild? Which part of UK can you see golden eagles and ptarmigan in the wild? Anybody know? Scotland, London, Cornwall, or East Anglia? I have no idea. I'm just going to say Scotland. I'm just guessing. Oh, so I've got at least 2 right by just guessing. I think 1 I actually knew. 2 more. Which of these habitats would best suit a sparrow? The beach, hedgerow, mountaintop, or a pond? What do you guys think? Beach, hedgerow, mountaintop. You can post in the chat your answers. I'm watching the chat, so go ahead and make sure you're answering there. I'll see them, and I'll know if you're right or wrong. I'm going to guess I'm just going to say a hedge. Because when we just talked about the bird baths, they talked about liking. Yes. We'll skip that one. We should be able to get this one. What is a young duck called? What is a young duck called? Owling, chick, duckling, or gosling? I'm going to guess duckling. Again, is this like one of those ones where it's just too obvious? Or let's try. Yes. Okay, last one. One more. That was an easy one. No, we don't know the science name. No, I don't know that one. Cockatoos are parrots from which continent? Can you guess that one? Cockatoos are parrots from which continent? So there's like North America. Oh, well, they give us the answers here. America, Australia, Europe, or Asia. What do you guys guess? I don't know this one, so it's just going to be a guess. They didn't spell America right. They must have had me helping with the typing. Remember how I was talking last week about, or a couple weeks ago, about making typing errors? Look at that, America. It should be America, right? I'm going to guess America. Wrong, Australia. Okay, well, I think I got maybe 5 out of 7, something like that. How'd you do? Did you get all of them right? Or did you get any? Did you miss them all? Hopefully you got more right than me. So that's our fun quiz for today. And jump over here. Let's go ahead and move over to our workstation with our dies and stamps, see what we can do with those. I will be right with you. There we go. Looks like my mic is still working. I was a little bit concerned about that. I charged it up earlier, but the volume doesn't seem to be going quite as loud as my normal mic. So let's see. Hopefully this continues to work. I'll keep an eye on it. If you start to get silence at some point, please, please, please let me know. And say, Ken, check your mic. Even though you won't help me since this is pre-recorded, but anyway, the thought's there. We have the main die here, and we have the main stamp. We're going to go ahead and work with those. We'll stamp an image, and then we'll also die cut it. Let's get that out of here. And it looks like we need a little more light today. Kind of the settings on this camera can change from week to week depending on how much light here is coming into the office. So it looks like we're a little under. We'll crank that up a little bit. That looks good. There we go. We can see a little better. Our dies, our stamps. Again, we're just going to work with the large image here. Let's go ahead and move our machine slightly out of the way so we can bring our stamping mat over here. And this is a nice and easy stamp. I did use it a little bit earlier. I'm going to try to zoom in here, guys, just a little bit so you can see, hopefully a little bit closer. All right. There we go. And I have my stamp here. It'll fit on this nice block. I think this is about a 3x5 block. Add that to there. And then I'm just going to get my ink. Sure I get plenty of ink on this, and we'll have to kind of rotate it around to make sure we fill in all the little spots. I did use this earlier today as I gave it a little practice run, and it was great. My first image came out just perfect how I wanted it to, so I was real happy with that. We'll see what happens here with image number 2. And so we can see it real well. Let me find some white cardstock here. I think I have a piece. Yeah. Go. Move that ink pad out of the way, and we'll go ahead and put our lid on there. It's a good idea. Sometimes the ink pads end up falling on the floor. They get on the carpet or stain something. As long as I remember, I always like to put those away. Then I'm just going to go ahead and add this right here in the center. Push down on all the different areas. And we have a real nice image there. First time, that looks good. And we're going to go ahead and die cut it. Now, again, all of these dies have the inside images. So the inside of the image where you can paper piece if you like, which is kind of fun. But for right now, we need, and we'll run through both of these dies at the same time. This would be the one that we're going to use on the outside. You can see that. We're going to use some washi tape to tape that in place because we did this nice image. We don't want to ruin it with our die cut. And that can happen. It happens to me quite often. I'm not good at keeping the die in place. So the washi tape will help out with that. So we can run that through. And then let's see, I'm going to go ahead and just, where my scissors are here, trim that down so we can run the other die through at the same time. And I think I had some gray colors here earlier, which might look kind of nice for a outdoor bird bath. Kind of like a stone look, right? Got that facing down. Those are facing down. We are good to go. Put that plate at the bottom, and then we have our dies and our cardstock, and with our another cutting pad right on top. And we'll just run that through. Now I'm a little bit too close, huh? I'm going to zoom back out now. I forget. Zoom back out a little bit. Now our machine's a little bit wider. We're too close. There we go. That's better. Let's see what we have here. Centered. We did our die cut with this. This is our image that we had stamped. Pull that washi tape off there gently. I have torn my cardstock before with washi tape, so you do want to be a little gentle with that. And we get that nice cut out there. And then let's see what this one produced. So you can see this could layer just right on top, and that would look nice. You start have a little shadow around there and kind of a stone look to that. You could pop this out here if you wanted to. I won't do this, but you would take this little section out here, and I think I would have to trim it. If I had some tiny scissors, I would trim all these pieces. These would all pop out. You could just see, I think I could do that. If you just wanted to add just the top, say you wanted to keep the base, you could add just to the top right there. Your option. You could use a different color if you wanted here, down here. And of course, if you wanted to have like a blue for your water in there, you could take these out here in the center. And I think that would come out of there. Okay. Just trim those down. Again, you'd want to have really tiny scissors. These are just more of a general type scissor that I have, but make it really look nice. You would just use again a smaller pair of scissors. Your trimming would come out much nicer. So that could fit right there. If you ran this through again with maybe like a blue, you could add that blue color in there, fill it in, and get a water that can come out of there too. Let's see, we'll pop that one out of there. Say we want to have some extra water in there. And so there would be the top of my bath, and if I want to add some water on the inside, I could easily do that with some blue cardstock run through with the same die. So that would be your paper piecing option. Of course, you can ink it and color it, do some blending, all kinds of fun stuff with that. Now this is looking too bright. Let's turn that down a little. There we go. So when we have white, it looks too bright. When we have darker colors, the camera adjusts and gets too bright. So sorry about that if the color was a little bit off, but you have those options with that. Again, you can do the little paper piecing. You can just go all out on this. Most of our samples look like the designers were just using the full cutout like this, but you have these different options with the Stamps of Life die, which makes it kind of fun. Okay, let's head on over back to our computer and we'll take a look at our next item. Our next item is going to be a Fold-it. Let me get all this kind of cleaned up. This is also from the same time period, going back to April of 2021. And our next option, this is a Fold-it. It is called a Paw Print Fold-it die set. So you know Fold-its are fun. We feature these a lot on Take Two Tuesday. One, we have a lot of them, and two, they are super easy. So I like to show you how easy they are to use. I know some of you maybe are not familiar with Fold-its, but they are really, really easy. And if you're in a hurry to make a card or you need to crank out a lot of them, highly recommend these. So this is a paw print, kind of looking like I would picture it as being a dog paw print. Maybe if you wanted it to be a bear or some kind of other animal, it might be able to work. but this is kind of dog themed. And there are one, two, oh, let's find it on the website. I don't want to make up some numbers here. I will switch over there for you so you can see my computer screen. There we are. We have the Paw Print A2 shaped card fold-it die set. That's the official name. And it makes an A2 card, and it has 7 dies in the set. So you get each one of the little paw prints. You can kind of decorate with those a little bit extra if you like. The main die is going to do all of the work. This little, it looks like thin and not much, but this die is the one that will cut out the fold-it, all the card front, and then these are kind of the decorative part, kind of the parts that make it look a little more exciting. Very, very easy. Let's check out our card samples that we have here. Again, I think a lot of you might have it. I know this was popular when it came out. So let's see just how you can do that. You add your little pudgy dog on there. If you have a dog stamp that you really love already, you can die cut it and just add it to the front of this card. Very, very fun, cute, with a little bone there on the decorative part with a bow. You're my best friend, it says. There it is on a card front. So remember, with these folded dies, you can add it to a card front, to a scrapbook page, a bulletin board. You can make banners with these. Lots of different options with these. You can make a box card even if you wanted. There's again with one of our little dogs from one of our, I think that was Friends for Cookie stamp set, I believe. And there's Cookie. She made it onto one of our cards there. And the designer chose to make this a shaker card. Great idea. There is a fun one with our little Corgi and a Stuffy, and then back to the main items there. Very fun. 7 dies in that one. Let's see, we do have a bunch of other fold-its down here. You see, there's Cookie, there's a cat, our Corgi, and then there's some other stamps and dies that are kind of dog related down below. I do think I have some, let's see, interesting facts about, facts you didn't know about dog paws. Let's check out what they say here. Okay, the top 10 facts you didn't know about dog paws. Now, I haven't given a lot of thought about dog paws. Have you? Let's see what they say. Probably not, right? Dog paws are made up of 5 parts. So I guess they have their 4 pads, and then there's this big pad area, right? I can see it on the picture. Let me go ahead and switch over there for you. It's better if you can see what I'm looking at. And I can still stay on the screen here. Okay, so there are the dog paws are made up of 5 parts. Dog paws are weatherproof. Weatherproof. They keep their feet from freezing in colder temperatures. And let's see. But they are sensitive to heat. So that's interesting. So the dog pads, the paws, can deal with cold and kind of as shock absorbers. And for breaking, they help. But when it's too hot, you got to be careful. If you're on blacktop or any kind of cement, you know how that can get hot. So be careful if you have a dog and you are on. It says they can get blisters and burn. So be careful when walking your dog in the summer months. I always think that they're just adjusted to it, but I guess they can get even too hot for our dog friends. Dogs walk on their toes. Man's best friend is a digited grade animal. Unlike humans who take most of our weight on our heels, dogs put their weight on their toes. Didn't know that. Dogs sweat through their paws. Didn't know that. Dogs, I don't know if I want to know this part. And I hope none of you know it. Dog paws can smell like popcorn. One of those things like too much information stuff, right? Like I don't want to know. And it's because of bacteria and moisture and sweat and yuck. Dogs use their paws as stress balls. Yeah, have you ever seen them like when they chew on them? Yep. Dogs have thumbs. Well, not exactly. It says they're called dew claws on their front legs. and their hind legs made up of bone and muscle. Dew claws are not essential to domestic dogs, although some will use them to provide a firmer grip on something they are chewing. So see how that guy's holding that in place? So I guess one on the inside can move a little bit. Some dogs have webbed feet. All dog paws are different. I wonder if it's like, it doesn't say it's like humans where it's like a print. Like, you know how we have fingerprints and they're all a little bit different? But it doesn't say that, but maybe it just means through the different types of, there's just some dogs have, well, let's read it. Despite all dog paws being made up of 5 parts, there are still different styles of doggy feet. Dogs such as bull terriers, old English sheepdogs, and I'm not sure, Akitas have cat feet. This shape of paw has a short third digital bone, leaving the paw more compact like a cat. It requires less energy. Hare feet have longer middle toes, like on a greyhound or a Bedlington Terrier. Dogs that are native to some of the coldest countries in the world, such as the St. Bernard, have far wider paws than those of the same size and build. Their larger pads allow them to grip and walk safely on snow and ice. I like how God made all these, even, you know, people are different, but even the dogs are different, so they can adapt to where they live. And yeah, so it's great. And I think that's it. So there was an interesting, there is something else funny about, I don't know if any of you are into this, but here are a bunch of dog paw art options. Looks like you can paw print keepsake. There's a video for that where they show you the dog. He doesn't look like he's having very much fun right there, but he paints a picture. And how to make your own pet paw print. You can do that. That's my question for you. Have any of you guys done anything like we were just looking at, taken a paw print of your dog and stuck it onto paper or cement or however else you want to decorate it? Has that ever popped in your mind? Until I found this on the internet, it had never crossed my mind that I would take my dog and make dog art. So you have look at this one. The thing is, none of these dogs really look that happy. And I don't think Cookie would have sat there and done this for us. And some see how they take the paw and they put ink on it and then they stick his paw on the paper. I don't know. I know Lemon wouldn't go for it, the corgi in our family. So I think we would be out of luck. But here you have all these different paw options. If you need some paw ideas, here you go. It's all on here. All you have to do, if you go to Google Images and type in, what did I type in right there? Dog paw print. You'll come up with all this crazy stuff having to do with dog paws. Way more going on than I would have ever thought. But everybody has their thing that they're interested in, correct? So it might not be my thing, but it might be your thing, which is great. We can all have our things. We are all a little bit different. Let's see. I have a few samples. I don't have a whole lot here, but I do have a few. Again, if you have this collection of dies from April of 2021, maybe you've been around with the Stamps of Life for some time, you will want to, this is a reminder for you, it's time to use them. If you want an easy way to make a card, Fold-its are the way to go. How are we doing there? All right, let's go ahead and check out our little table here. And there's a fun one. That was the one with a "You're my best friend" on there. And it does include the dies here that will allow you to make the pads look like that with the little dots in there. So that is an option. Plain, this card might not even have been finished all the way, but just to give you the general outline of how you can create with that. And here's with our little pudgy dog on there. We have lots of little stamps in it that would fit on here just nice. I'll have to hold this up a little bit. Remember, this is making an A2 card. So you could just send it out in your standard little envelope. And one of Cookie's friends on that one. And last, our shaker card. That's a really cute idea. Little Cookie there, lots of soft colors. And of course, we have the stamps you can add to the back. We have lots of different options for the backs of the cards. personalized stamps are on the website if you like those. All right, let's go die cut this. And we'll move on over back to our die cutting machine. There we go. We'll have to get that lined up. Looks like everything is going good so far. Make sure that's kind of in the center there. That looks good. All right, again, this is the piece of the die that is going to do most of the work. I have a couple different styles of cardstock here. We're going to have like a gray and black dog. This piece of cardstock is not something we normally sell. So this is some scrap that was sent to us, but I'm going to put it to use today. And then we are going to use this little bit thicker cardstock here, which might be our color. Looks like it's a little darker, so I would guess it's Storm. The lighter color is called Cloud. In our grays, we have Storm, and we have also Cloud are the two options if you like gray colors. And the Storm is the darker. You fold your cardstock in half. Again, we're making a fold-it. Your fold could be on the top, which that's what I'm going to do. You just have your die go a little bit over the edge. If you want it to be on the side, you could do that. So you have two different options. If you want a side opening card or a top, I'm going to go for the top opening. I think I kind of prefer that. There's no, again, this is one of those no right or wrongs. You do whatever makes you happy. Let's run that through there. Get that just right. And try to get our pads so we don't get a bunch of crazy noises from our machine. If they're straight, it should go right on through. And we have that. Great. Here we have the base of our card. So there is the fold-it part. Now we have the problem. We can't have paws with the straight lines on the top, so we got to fix that. So I'm going to use this. This is a little bit lighter cardstock, but it'll work fine for the card front. You wouldn't want to use this for the base. It wouldn't be strong enough. Now, instead of going for a fold this time, we need the full die cut from this. So we got to make sure it fits all on the cardstock. So let's do that. That through. And this will cover up those straight lines. We can do that with this. We're gonna take that paw that we just cut out, and we're going to add some adhesive to the back. All my adhesives keep seeming to run out all the time while I'm on here, so let's see what's going on with that. Try over here. No, it might be out. Let's try one more. Whenever I clean up this around here, I always find different adhesives that we've used from the past, so I have quite a collection. And of course, we have adhesive on the website, so you'll just add this right to the top. Now you can see those straight lines are gone. We're making progress there. We have our fold-it. Now we need to get some decorative parts there for our, let's get a darker color. And we'll do the pads here. Now we do have the options where we could use the dot if we want. Just for the sake of time, we're just going to use, excuse me, we're just going to use the full, without the little dotted pads. They do look fun on the card samples that I saw there. So you have that option, just plain like this, or, and we want to cut this out. We're going to run both of these together. And run it through the machine there. And there we have the outline of our paw. Now it would have been nice to have added some adhesive to that before, but we can still get this to work. a little bit on here. We don't want it to get on our machine, so it's okay if it gets on the other cardstock. If we had put the adhesive sheet on before, it'd kind of be more like a sticker, and it would have been a little bit cleaner, but this still works. And then we just add that to the top. There you go. Now you could add your little sentiments, a little banner on there. You could, how we saw with some of the other samples, you can add a little dog there. Very easy. You do get the extra pieces, so if you want to add some different colors in there for the toes, you could do that. Or, like we had talked about, you can use the little dotted dies there as well to add something a little extra to your paw. But there we have it, the A2 Paw Print Fold-it from the Stamps of Life. You can decorate on the inside, lots of room to write with in there. Yeah, just a fun, easy one, and super, super easy, just like I was mentioning to you. So much fun and so easy to do. All right, I hope you like those items that we looked at today. They were, like I was showing you, if I can do this kind of stuff, I know you can do it too. And I only practiced one time before, because I don't want to come on, bring out something that we have and like do it totally wrong. So I do practice usually at least once, sometimes twice, to get these things. So you might get a die set or a stamp and die set that doesn't quite work the way you expected at your first time around, but usually you can figure it out pretty quick. And for me, I'm not a super card crafter. You know, I'm kind of a beginner, novice, but most of the time I can figure it out first try, and every once in a while it takes 2 tries. But the fold-its are the easiest if you want to start super easy card making. Let's see, anything else on that? Well, again, I hope all of you are having a wonderful day. We are going to get into our good news segment right now. If you have your Bible with you, you want to get out and open up to, where are we? Romans chapter 12. And we're taking, again, the next week we'll get back to our Matthew. We're moving through Matthew. I think we're about halfway through. So we're going to get through that whole book. And we'll probably finish it in like January or February. This year is going by so fast, I can't believe it. But anyway, we are in Romans 12. And whenever we do the devotion, I kind of like to, at least as we've been going through Matthew, give you a little bit of information from around the verse that we're looking at, so you can get a bit of context, because we don't want to like study it or read it or think about it without totally understanding what is being said around the verse. Because if we take the verse out of context, we can twist it and kind of make it to say something that it shouldn't. So we want to be real careful about that. So we will do that. We'll go through Romans 12. I'll just give you a general outline. The main verse we're looking at, and I'll pop it up here on the computer, is Romans 12:12. And it does say, I'll read it right here from my Bible. You can use a regular Bible, which I bring some of the time, which is fun because you can mark it up and highlight it or put little notes. Right now I'm using on my tablet, I have the Bible app. And you can also, if you have a smartphone, a Android phone or iPhone, you can get the Bible app on there. And they do have ways, I haven't really figured out, but you can mark up and make notes also, even in your app. So that's kind of fun. Whenever you feel like God's speaking to you and you want to try to remember, a good thing to do is to write it down or type it out. Go back to it and think about it. Sometimes we get these thoughts, these impressions from God, and I think we just let them go too often rather than going back to them. I know for me, I would like to be better at that, to go back to something that I felt like God was speaking to me about and recall it, think about it, maybe figure out a way to apply it, but not just I feel like God's speaking to me and then just let it go. That would be an error for me to do that. So it's something I need to practice that and get better. So in Romans 12, Paul had wrote this letter to the church in Rome. And it's a great book. The whole book is really awesome. There's so much in it. But in this chapter 12, it's a little more personal, like the life of a Christian. And it starts off where it says, our lives, we're just to offer them up to God. He's been so good to us. It says mercies. The mercies of God. He's done so much for us that we owe him everything. And what more could we do than to offer up our lives to him? And so that is what Paul says we should do. Hey, offer up your life to God. Right at the beginning, he says that. So that is the key part as we're going. So think about that. We are totally in. We're totally living for God, not living for ourselves. That's the idea. And then it goes on in the next couple of verses, like verse 3 through 8, is God gives each believer, each Christian, spiritual gifts. And we all have different gifts. We're not all made the same. Again, God allows a lot of variety and makes us unique and uses us in unique ways. And then he also gives us unique spiritual gifts. These are gifts from the Holy Spirit, from God, who empowers us. They don't come to us naturally, but God gives us to it, and it talks about ways that we can apply and use these gifts. But then it comes down to kind of Christian living, how we are to live in as Christians. And I remember this passage. It goes from 9 all the way down to, it looks like verse 21. It's very, very practical. And if you just want to see how your walk is going with God, if I want to think about how I'm doing with Jesus, this is an awesome passage to just go through and kind of check these things off. Do I see this in my life? Am I living like this? Am I doing these things? Awesome if we are. Great. We're on the right path. God's working in our lives. But if we see we're not hitting some of these things, maybe something's a little bit off. And so my first thought would be I would want to ask God for help to get better in these areas in my life. And maybe there's some things that are difficult for me. I definitely would need God to come in and empower me or change me, enable me to do these things. So those are all possibilities. None of us is ever going to be the perfect follower of Jesus. We're not going to be just like him, but we want to work and strive to do better and better all the time. That would be the plan, the best idea. Our verse, so you want to read through this whole, again, there's just a lot here, but if you go to verse 12, it says, so we're thinking of how we're living as Christians. It says, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, and continuing steadfastly in prayer. So it's a little bit of an outline. It has, we're to rejoice because we have hope. We are to be patient when there's tribulation and trials. And then it says we're just to keep praying. So that kind of gives us an outline of what it says there. I think I do have a couple notes. But as far as being, as we are, every Christian should have hope. God has done so much for us. And then as we read his word, we understand that he says he'll provide for us. He says he will protect us. He says we are never alone. We can always trust that he's going to be there and he cares about us. And then the bigger things, we know that all of our sins are forgiven. We know we have a place in heaven, and we know that when this life ends, we are going to go on to be with God. Now it says hope, so it's not like I hope these things are true or I hope these things are going to happen, but these are promises that are found in the scripture. So when we read hope, like in this context, it means it's something we really know in our hearts and we can go out and live it out. We have this expectation based on God's word, what Jesus has told us, that these expectations are going to be real. And again, it's not just wishful thinking or I hope this happens or I'm not sure. No, these are promises we can stand on. So as Christians, we have this hope. That's the first part. And then patient in tribulation. So tribulation is like trials, troubles. We all are going to face these. This is just part of the Christian life. The good thing about these things are it helps us to grow and mature. It helps us to depend on God, to seek his help more. Another nice thing about trials and tribulations, they don't last forever. Now, some could last a lifetime. Some could be for a day or a week or a month or a year. We don't know the timing, but most of them pass. If you think back in time, things that we've gone through, they kind of come and go through life, different stages. We'll face something difficult up ahead, but we know these things come to pass. But we lean on God and we get through those and we keep working through these things. And in the end, hopefully these trials, these tribulations will teach us lessons that we can not only apply to things we face in the future, but maybe also that we can share and encourage other people. Hey, I kind of understand where you're coming from. I went through this a few years ago, or this happened to me a couple months ago. So we can use some of the things that we have been through to hopefully help others to know, again, back to the fact that you're going to get through it. We want to encourage people to know that this difficulty, this challenge, it's not forever. But we're going to be patient in tribulation. We're going to learn to deal with it. We're going to persevere. We're going to have endurance. We're not going to quit. We're not going to lose hope. We're not going to just fall away from God. We're going to just keep that strong commitment that life's going to be challenging. The Lord's going to help me. We're going to get through it, right? And then last, steadfast in prayer. It's hopefully this is super important that we keep praying. There's a part where Jesus said that when it comes to prayer, you're to keep asking, seeking, and knocking. I'm to keep calling on God to work in my life, to work in the lives of others. And the way I do that is through prayer. It says steadfast. That means we don't quit. We don't give up. So much of following Jesus is just having that attitude. I'm not going to quit and I'm not going to give up. I always have that expectation, or at least sometimes it's in the front of my mind, sometimes in the back, that the very next prayer that we pray could be the one that changes my life or changes the life of somebody else. So why not pray it? And maybe it ends up that's what happened. Something happened after I prayed that time. Maybe it didn't, but I'm going to keep asking, keep seeking, keep knocking. I'm going to be steadfast in prayer about everything. We can pray about everything. God wants to talk to us. He's interested in us. We can share our ups and our downs, the highs and lows of life. God is interested in us. There's nothing we can't talk to him about. We can truly feel how we feel in our hearts. If you read through the Psalms, some of David's Psalms are kind of crazy. There's some anger and there's some doubt and there's some fear and worry. And there's these parts where he's praising God. And there's sometimes where oh God, I don't even feel like you're here. You can express all these things to God. And he's totally open to that. We can talk to him, and he's not going to get mad at us. He's not going to get down on us. He wants to hear from us. So just think that you can pray anytime you want, anywhere you want. And that very next prayer that you make could change your life or could change the life of somebody you really care about. Amazing things God can do. So let's rejoice in hope. We can be joyful about the hope we have. We can be patient in the trials and tribulations that we face. And then we can keep praying. Everything we can do can be covered in prayer. I know for me, prayer is something I need to work on a lot. I feel like I used to pray a lot more than I do now. Though as we're reading this passage, this is something that was really speaking to my heart, that I need to be the one that is praying more and not quitting and not giving up. So I'm going to take that as a challenge for me. Maybe one of these areas in your life you want to take as a challenge. Or like I said, if you read through that whole chapter of chapter 12, maybe there's some things that you need to work on and apply to your life. And I know God will help you. Right? Now, that wraps up our Take Two Tuesday today. I hope you, again, enjoyed this episode. If you have any comments, you can post those down below. Remember, this is pre-recorded. I'm hoping to be, when this plays on YouTube as a premiere, to be able to join you. But add your comments and maybe we'll chat in there. But I love to hear what you have to say later. If you need prayer for anything, you can always add that in the comment section below too on any of our videos. YouTube tells us when we get comments, and we try to keep up with those. And we'll pray for you. It's real important that we all pray for each other. And we love to do that. It's great to see what God will do again in our lives if we'll just pray and ask him. There's the passage that says you don't have these things, or God doesn't work because you're just not praying about it. So for us, let's meet that challenge. Let's be praying and asking God to help us and bless us. I'll be back live next week on Tuesday. I think that would be November 12th. Put that on your calendar if you want. And these are always taped, so you can watch at a later time if you're not able to join live. But I will be looking forward to that. And then next week, we'll return with a crafting corner, and we'll be having back to our regular schedules next week. Have a wonderful day, and I hope God is blessing all of you. Thanks again for joining me. And that is it. Take care, and I will see you soon on Take Tuesday here. Oh, where's my slide? It's gone. It disappeared. Oh no, it should be. There it is. Okay, bye-bye. I'll see you next week.